Welcome back, part 3. Why is there like no sound? Okay, it was just taking a while. Part 3, we're going to Moses Lake, which despite the fact that there's a giant lake right there, and also despite the fact that, you know, it's named Moses Lake, I'm pretty sure rivers can't spawn on this map. False advertisement, I guess. Anyway, Moses Lake, we're headed right into the urban downtown this time. There should be plenty to scavenge here, but we'll have to build our own farms. A couple of gangs are fighting over there to this territory, and making life miserable for people who don't want to pick sides. That doesn't sound right, but okay. Sounds almost as bad as zombies, hope we can reason with them. Yeah, we're gonna get to that when we get to it. I guess challenging, why not? Just keep buffing it up. Alright, decent spawn location. I've got a lot of hiccups today, I'm sorry. This is weird, I wasn't hiccuping like crazy like past like 3 hours. Now as soon as I start talking, that's when they all come rolling in. Anywho, just to focus on this for now, I guess. Get a good look around. No, yeah, you do that and he'll take on this one. Ah, right. Kinda sucks that the speed thing constantly resets itself. No. Not interested. What did we find? Science book. Bonus materials, okay. Oh, whoops. Yeah. Everyone has stuff, right? Yeah, it's been a long time since I last played this game. By long time, I mean like 4 days, if even that. The pet store. That's one down. We'll see if we can do it on this map. Again, it's very doable and possible, but RNG needs to be on our side. Yeah, probably not going to be as chatty in this episode. I'll probably only talk when there's relevant things happening. But that's fine. This video is mostly just to gather footage for the critique, so it's fine. Yeah, let's get out of control, why not? Alright. Crash. We just bought a transport helicopter. Helicopter? Okay. Skyline like some sort of camo-colored angel coming to lift us out of this nightmare, then it sputtered, spiraled, and came crashing down to Earth like all of our dreams. It demolished the laboratory Of course it demolished the laboratory. Why wouldn't it destroy one of like the 20 useless buildings all around it? Look at that. Useless, 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 useless. Fucking sound like Dio. Anyway. Of course, it's the only useful building in the whole vicinity. Maybe there's something left to scavenge. Yeah. You know what I don't understand about this event? There's always one person who survived and is just laying there in rubble. Question. Why is it I can go here like 700 days after this happens? No exaggeration, no joke. You could actually play for 700 in-game days. I'll go there, and there'll still be just that one lone survivor like, oh, please help me. Whatever. Just bad foresight, I guess. Get some more people. Yeah. I'll just be in charge of that, I guess. Let me go through there real quick. Well, we gotta find a new laboratory, and really fucking quick. Wait, I misread that. Did I just have a stroke? I swear that said -12 happiness somehow. What? Okay. Probably just a bug. Wouldn't surprise me. Game's not exactly stable. We gotta find a... Don't care. We gotta find this. Nope, not there. Gotta find it. Well, there's the... I was about to say the faction name, but I guess I'll talk about that when we get to it. Man, this sucks. Then again, the whole game kinda does. Again, needed to get the good ending, and it's like, yeah, here, Get that in the first 10 seconds of each level. Weren't lucky enough to spawn directly next to it? Well, screw you, I guess. So much fun. You know, I think the #1 thing about this game, it's like if you're gonna play it, have your phone play fucking YouTube or something next to you, because it's like that's the best way to like keep yourself entertained while playing it. Okay, here we go, finally. Granville Riffs. There used to be a local martial arts school here. Well, that's a huge fucking contradiction. You'll see what I mean way later down the playthrough, but like, that's a huge fucking contradiction. Anyway, they were known for their strict training regime and even stricter code of honor, but this wasn't the kind of self-defense class you send your 7-year-old to. These guys were trained to kill with fists, feet, sticks, and swords. The nice thing about a sword is it never runs out of bullets, because it doesn't use any, you fucking idiot. It looks like all that training paid off as they're still alive and kicking. We still had to agree with them visiting them next time. I guess we should pay them a visit. So, these guys are one of the few factions that were in the previous game, Rebuild 2. However, in that game, they were just a bunch of very heavily armed mercenaries just simply going around killing all the zombies. And that was like their whole goal. They would just recruit people to join them. They would scavenge a bunch. They didn't really go into detail how they survived, but whatever. And their whole goal was to just kill zombies. A pretty understandable goal in a zombie apocalypse, right? So Rebuild 3 comes around and decides to completely retcon them into, well, I mean, Rebuild 2 and 1 never specified where it is, other than somewhere in the USA, whereas this game's almost entirely in the state of Washington, the whatever that area of Canada is called. But anyway, yeah, they decided to retcon them into kung fu action movie wannabes, just full-blown LARPers, who don't use any guns at all and are somehow one of the tougher factions in the game. Listen, man, I don't care how good you are at Kung Fu. That's not going to work against a bloodthirsty killing machine that doesn't feel pain. Like, they established, as early as Rebuild 1, I'm pretty sure, that these zombies can only die if you decapitate them, destroy their head, or burn them to a crisp. Though I'm not sure how viable that one is anymore, considering the fact they die pretty easily in this game. I don't know. But regardless, the point is, they're a lot more durable than a normal person. Fists and feet aren't going to do anything. Sticks will do very little, if anything. Only swords that realistically would do anything at all. And even then, you have to be up close. Like, you have to be up close. And if you're slicing a zombie who's infected with a disease that transfers via blood, that transfers via fluids, and you slice it, and its blood comes pouring out, and it splashes all over you, wouldn't that be just as bad as getting bitten? How do they still have so many members? I don't know. Oh, also, you won't, they don't talk about it here, but way later on in the game, it's revealed these guys are from New York. Yes, that New York. They originate from New York City, and traveled all the fucking way to Washington State, and later Southwest Canada, for no reason, by the way. And they just exist, meaning that they are literally the biggest and most powerful faction in this entire franchise. And they're just fucking kung fu LARPers with swords. No guns. And they somehow have this many people in them. And they're somehow this fucking strong. Sarah cannot write to save her fucking life. Just saying. She cannot. She is physically incapable of writing. Oh, there's the other faction. We'll get to them too. I got quite a bit to say about them. You thought the erratas with the riffs were bad? Ho, you ain't seen none yet. Get out of here, you parasite. Okay. Let's see if we can replace that weapon. Yes, we can. Ooh, hospital, that could be useful. We need some more room, though. No problem. Bonus food. There's the trader. Simusanskvel. That's a very obscure reference, Sarah. I don't know how old Sarah Northway is or was when she made this game, but that is a very obscure reference. I feel like most people in their 40s wouldn't even know that one. Anyway, these guys are cool, so just, I mean, they're not cool, but like, they're easy to befriend. So yeah. Plus on this map, you might as well befriend both sides. I say might as well because it's like, you get the perk by doing so. Well, not really befriending, more like getting them to calm the fuck down. I guess that's the more accurate statement. Oh, sure. Why not? Just makes it that much easier on me. Let's go recruit them. You wait. You wait there. There we go. Scavenge, patch up. Yeah. At least he's a soldier, you know. We'll definitely need plenty of them here. Even though you just scavenged the area, it doesn't count as scavenging, so we gotta scavenge again. Engineer, we need that. Downer, but that doesn't matter because you're an engineer. It means you solve problems. Not problems like what is beauty. Because that would fall within the purview of your conundrum of philosophy. Now see, he solves practical problems. Sorry, I'm a big TF2 fan. Have I ever said that? Probably not. Okay. Now we need you to okay. Yeah, here we go. Hopefully we can. Oh, there's a motel. Okay, we may be able to do the Monkey Blood questline now. Maybe. Possibly. If we can also get lucky enough to find a cricket bat somewhere. And that is a big if. That is a very, very big if. Possible. Oh, yeah. Also, we gotta make sure that these guys don't take it, otherwise we'll be forced to attack them and steal it. Alright. Could definitely use that, I guess. Well, there we go. Hold on, what can this give me? Good enough. Good enough. Invite another builder. That's appreciated, I guess. Toolbox. Yeah. We gotta get to that lab. Make a few more farms. There's a coastline. Never mind. I guess it does have something here. Group of the Rifts showed up today in their matching black and yellow pajama robes. Alright, Malik wants to challenge our strongest fighter. Randy took a look at our champion, a huge guy with tree trunk limbs, said he could take him. I just banged my mic, I'm sorry. Who's Randy? Oh, you're Randy. Sure. The match lasted a night, a lot of posturing and near misses, neither fire giving ground. Third break, as the clock struck, Randy dropped their champion, a little time two-fisted hammer punch. He looked on us with newfound respect, even bowed to us before they dragged their champion home. Okay. Sure. Sure. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Not gonna have too much to say, like I said, unless it's something relevant. Usually when I play this game I was always silent, and I would listen to like YouTube or something while doing so, so it was a lot more bearable. A good start. Is it though? Is it good? Really? Stairs are fine. Man, we gotta reach that friggin' lab, like, right now. This is so sluggish. Without the research, it's so sluggish. Wait, I just noticed it says pregnancy at the top right. Who just randomly reproduced via mitosis this time? Who the fuck? Sarah, women can't just spontaneously impregnate themselves. Ah, I hate this. That's not how birth works. Yeah. Let's get rid of them. Don't have to worry about them then. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Just scout out the whole fort, I guess. No thank you. Recruit. Yeah. Even more, every 2 seconds it feels like. Every 60 seconds in Africa, a minute passes. Alright. Soldier, engineer. Nah. Just bring the engineer, that's all we really need. Whoa, there we go. Whoa. Oh, there's another one. Alright, we'll leave them both undiscovered for now. Ugh. The rifts might steal it, though. Oh, no. Well, that sucks for me. Can we take this now? We can. Okay. I guess we'll just pair these two up for now. Why not? Yeah. Real shit again. Go on farm duty for now, I guess. Just wait. There we go. Watch and fascinated horror, because I don't give a shit. Survivor management. Turn these into farms. Oh, right, let's try to complete this part first and foremost. Like I said, once we get programmer, then things will go by way quicker and easier. Do we even have any books? We got one. Firearms. Brave. Firearms. Fighter. The fighter. Our decorator. Do we have any? We do. Good. Tools expert. Give him the toolbox. Soul chamber. There you go. Easy going. And there we go. Oh, and already you're ready. Okay. None of these really work, so... Construction. Yes, I know. People used to put up buildings all the time without power tools and cement trunks and 3D modeling software, but not in Moses Lake. It was a challenge to find these tools that we need to raise a building by hand. We're also forgetting how to do things the old-fashioned way. Who needs to know this stuff in a world of modern conveniences, right? Heh, right. So we had to relearn how to build with our hands. If all else fails, get a hammer and some nails and just give her. Okay. Sure. Okay, there's that. Get that one reclaimed. Oh, right. Save. Here we go. Everyone knows you have to shoot them in the head, but why? We have a theory. Their hearts have stopped, but we think the electrical parts are still working. Synapses in the brain continue to fire and send commands via the nervous system. If this is true, the Zed could be paralyzed if you cut their spinal cord, and they might be susceptible to attacks like nerve gas. We still don't know how their muscles work with no blood circulation, but we'll have soldiers test this nervous system theory out and see if it works. Okay. I guess signposts. Scavenge everything, there's no reason never to. Actually, yeah, go ahead and, go ahead and do that one. I guess melee's none of it matters. Often if I said that in this whole series so far, it doesn't matter, dash won't matter, or whatever along those lines. Oh wait, we're gonna need schools too. Ugh. That's assuming we can even actually do the quest line here. Poisonous blueberries. Why are you idle? Oh, double click. Alright, let's go meet them. Just to continue the story, you know. Dr. One. Musician. Assault rifle and a flare gun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. One, two, three, four. We'll need one more effective, right? Let's see, what can we turn into that? We got to practice our art skills, making big graffiti murals around the city that point the way to our fort. On some of the text is so stylized you can't really read it. But what's important is that it looks awesome. Is everybody in this game a fucking idiot? The great thing about using signs to attract survivors is that zombies can't read, so we don't have to worry about attracting them too. Let's hope that the living we see the signs all have good intentions. Yes, indeed. Well, whoops. Driver, crafter, first aid, crafter. Crafter. Never seen so many chiseled bodies as I walked through the Granville Rift's heavily fortified compound for the first time. Heavily fortified by what? We'll never know. It seems like everyone from the biggest bruiser to the littlest old lady has a six-pack from all the martial arts training they do. Had a chance to meet with their lanky boss, Malik, while I was there. Told me that he'd be watching us. Keep the Zed in check was their first concern, but they won't tolerate causing trouble, like those damn bikers from the Last Judgment on the other side of town. We'll get to them, we get to them. Gave me a grim smile and told him to let me know if we ever need help bringing down a few Zeds, then he could arrange to send a few guys over. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Ah, here we go. Send over builder. Okay, here we go. Policy, gender roles. Some folks feel that our women should be shielded from the horrors of the fight against the undead. That way they can keep focused on supporting our families and keep the fort running smoothly from the inside. Others think women are fit to carry guns and blow the face off things, and hint that men should do more of the cooking and cleaning. What? Okay, Sarah. Anyway, what is a woman's role in our new world? People can do what they want. This has no effect, changes literally nothing, and is the equivalent of saying, fuck this policy. Everyone does chores and guard duty, makes it so all women gain +1 defense. Anybody with the devout perk becomes unhappy. Women who have the devout perk do not gain the benefits and will become very unhappy. And it will anger Last Judgment whilst making Dahlia's happy. We'll get to those fuckers when we get to them. And women say should wow. women should stay safe at home makes it so women who are devout lose 1 defense, has no effect on ones that aren't. Men are completely unaffected. Anybody with the devout perk become happy. Women who do not have the devout perk become slightly unhappy, and it makes the Last Judgment very happy, and it makes Dahlia's unhappy. Very simple stuff. I will say this though, if your fort has very few women anyway, like how many women do we have? 1, 2, they're clumsy? Anyway, 2, 3, 4. We only have 4 women, only 1 is a soldier, and two of the 4 are devout, so they would get happiness from this anyway, so yeah, 90% of the time women should stay safe at home is actually a benefit. But this policy really makes me just wonder, what was Sarah really thinking? I don't think anyone would be giving a shit about any of this during the zombie apocalypse, especially if things are allegedly as bad as Sarah constantly tries to make it sound. Like, I don't think a single person on Earth would give even the most minute fuck about gender roles or my quote-unquote equality when there's fucking, you know, brain-hungry, like, bloodthirsty, unstoppable killing machines literally everywhere. And food is scarce, and water is tainted, and also no one can take baths, because, yeah, that's part of the lore, because, you know, I needed to know that. What do they do with their waste? I don't think they ever bring that up. What do they do with, like, their waste? Yeah, whatever. Well, anyway, yeah, it's funny. Like, you could tell Sarah really doesn't want you to pick this one, and yet, ironically, this one is, like, the most beneficial. So let's read this. In times of strife, people are comforted by the familiar. Give them a reliable schedule, diversions from their old lives, and a sense of normalcy. Teaching women to shoot zombies or men to mend clothes is just going to stress everybody out, when what we should be doing is getting things back to the way they were as much as that's possible. We'll still be able to assign women to leave the fort, but they won't join in guard duty at night. Yeah, see, you say that, but you can still do exactly that, and it won't actually change anything. This is also kind of misleading, like I said earlier. Sarah, if this is your defense, I gotta say, you don't know jack shit about anything. Because, like, if you're gonna make, like, a political statement from, like, try to make a political if you're gonna make a political statement and you're gonna make it as if the player has a choice in the matter, try to make it a genuine, good, reliable, like, point from both sides, because she does this a lot, where you pick the one she clearly didn't want you to, the reason-explanation is extremely flimsy and lousy, like this one. And yet, ironically enough, 90% of the time when you choose the one she doesn't want you to pick, it just is a massive boon to you, the player. So, like, I don't know if she was just tone deaf, I don't know if she just doesn't understand anything at all about anything, which she probably doesn't. I don't know what happened to Sarah Northway. Like, this is the type of shit that was never once brought up in Rebuild 2, like, ever. Like, Rebuild 2 was... I mean, Rebuild 2 had its humor moments, but, like, it never had any, like, drooling, stupid, political bullshit in it. I think sometime between the development of Rebuild 2 and Rebuild 3, Sarah went to college and got brainwashed or something, because I'll tell you right now, this is only the tip of the iceberg. The further in the game you go, the more crazy things get. And I don't mean the fun way, or the good way. No, we're talking, like, angry blue-haired people screaming at you when it's like, okay, they're zombies. They're zombies. Is this really a priority right now? Please fuck off. There are zombies. Anyway, like, you may notice I'm kind of dodging my own opinions on this type of shit. But that'll be a video of its own someday. Probably not. Probably not. I'm a fucking Breakers YouTuber. No one wants to hear me rant about my political ideals. Not to mention 90% of my opinions and my ideas and, like, the way I think things should be. Like, 90% of them are things I would absolutely get lynched for. Like, if I share my personal beliefs, like, of anything, really, like, whether it be political, societal, religious, or anything else, I absolutely guarantee you I would be doxxed in a heartbeat, I would be kidnapped, and I would be publicly executed, and then everyone would celebrate my death. So that's why I'm trying my best to not let out what I have to say about any of that. Yeah. I will say stuff that's objectively factual in terms of, like, game and lore, though. And what's objectively factual in lore is who the fuck would care during the zombie apocalypse? The answer is, realistically, nobody. Okay, you get that. We'll just wait here. Thank you. Give more to churches. Now devout just can never become unhappy no matter what. I'll take that. Can now build City Hall. I'll do that over here. For the others. Talk to them, yep. And then the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that'll be the 5th school. Then we can start talking around and ask for books. Then we just gotta pray for the 1 in 1,000 chance a horde spawns over here instead of over here. And then we gotta pray for another 1 in a billion chance that we find a cricket bat. Good fucking luck. Pure RNG. Even when you get every item that you could possibly need or want. Shit like this still happens. Spray and pray. Why not? Let's make another church. Why not? We got 2 bars, 1 church. Yeah. Increased rations. Like, look at how happy everyone is. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. With open arms, sometimes somebody shows up, but recruiting is more dangerous, and every negative you can't do the distrust hostile action. Also, slavers are very likely to show up with hostility. Honestly, we're the last bastion of civilization. With no innocents left, everyone wandering the city by themselves either got kicked out of their last group for some good reason. We approach with our weapons drawn, trust no one until they earn that trust. Other factions won't appreciate this. I mean, why would you? Like, again, zombie apocalypse, most people are fucking crazy. Just saying. Like, the fact that you wouldn't approach them with your weapons drawn and not trust them unless they earn it, like, I don't know why you would just randomly trust a complete fucking stranger during the zombie apocalypse, but whatever. Kinda makes the open arms one look even dumber than it already is, doesn't it? Okay. Food-wise, we need a bit more. Alright. Leader and Senate for now, I guess. The sweet spot between too much democracy and not enough. Sarah, you don't know anything about democracy. I don't think anyone in the Western world knows what democracy is. We'll vote for a couple people to be our Senate, and they'll keep me honest. Hopefully we won't see any filibusters or other chicanery around here. Okay. We can change this policy later. Kind of an ironic statement where it's like, alright, we're gonna have partial democracy. Anyway, we can change this policy later. Can any nation just decide on a whim, you know, like, you know what, I've had enough of democracy, let's give dictatorship a try. And then can any dictatorship just be like, you know what, I've had my fill of this, let's try being a republic now. I guess we're just gonna wait now. Yeah. Kill squad. Where? Ah, thank you. Here, you build this while I go. Oh, never mind. I guess I won't be recruiting. Forgot that we need more. We need more room. Fires. Yeah. Ever heard of this thing called night soil? Let's just say you might not want to know where our fertilizer comes from. It's shit. Like, literally, that's what it is. Anyway. MacGyver. I didn't think it was possible, but the Z virus has infected the old corpses from the Body World's exhibit. They're slow moving and fall apart rapidly, but these ancient zombies are swelling their ranks. I refuse to believe that a Body Worlds exhibit would have that many bodies. Like, enough to make that significant of a difference. Like, literally, like, hundreds, like, peeking into the low thousands. Just saying. Until these things decompose or move on, we're gonna have to be really careful going out before. Last thing I want to do is to run into some skinless, plasticized corpse in a dark alley. Also, this brings up a lore question. This means that the virus can infect already and long since dead? Like, what? Like, they make it abundantly clear these things can only spread through fluid, and that the virus kills them and then takes over the body. Like, if that's the case, then you mean they can infect long dead corpses that have been dead for a very, very, very long time? How would they even get into a situation to infect it? And don't tell me those zombies fucking bite it, because that doesn't make any fucking sense. And even if it did, they wouldn't have any bodily functions to infect. Sarah, you don't know anything about anything. You're a fucking dumbass, Sarah Northway. I'm calling you out. Sarah Northway is an absolute fucking ignoramus who doesn't know anything about anything at all. Alright. Melee training. Alright. Population, defense, trade, religion, defense. Leader and Senate. Keep their own. The skilled. Kick them out. Friends. Capitalist. We are not capitalists. That's not how capitalism works. Not to mention, again, contrary to what a lot of Americans think, there is a difference between capitalist and free market. Just saying. There's a pretty big difference. Okay. Make some more room. Tainted liquid. We do what we can to filter the water we collect around town, but that also does so much now that it's picked up some sort of sickness. Damn it! We never had to worry about getting... Yeah, just from drinking the water in these parts till the zombies rose up and water treatment plant broke down. Things would be a lot better if we get that. You do realize there's safe ways to acquire drinking water than just whatever the fuck your idea here was. Do what we can to filter the water. Like, does nobody... I refuse to believe that not a single person in the entire state of Washington and the entirety of the southwestern province of Canada has any idea how to filter water. Like, I refuse to believe that. My sound just randomly turned off. I apologize. Definitely have to fix that in the next one. Anyway, like, I just refuse to believe that no one knows that you can boil water to kill any bacterium in it. But whatever. Survivor-Man taught me that one when I was like 7. Medicine. Do we have a cricket bat yet? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Whoa. Probably could have gotten a better one there, but I don't care. I drew the short straw and had to be the guinea pig for this one. Research involved everything from sneaking barefoot past them while holding my breath to covering myself in revolting zombie guns and lurching around like I was one of them. That actually worked pretty well until I started puking from the smell. Mark that approach as emergencies only. Okay, so it's like Left 4 Dead. It's like Walking Dead in that case, and it's only brought up once and never ever again, and only as a gag. So its canonicity is extremely hotly debatable. Beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Nah, it's fine. Start. Ask them. More builders, because that's totally what we need right now. Tools expert. I see. Oh well. Fucking scat, that's so stupid. Okay, we can talk about Last Judgment now. I wouldn't have crossed the Last Judgment gang even back when there were still police to protect us. Now that there isn't much in the way of civilization left, steer clear. They're a gang of bikers who follow the word of God when it suits them. They're quick with Bible quotes on how wives should submit to their husbands. Yeah, Sarah, and I bet you didn't read literally the very next paragraph, did you, in the Bible, where it says, and also husbands need to respect and love their wives, but okay. But they ignore the bits about not violently murdering thy neighbor. Pretty sure that's in there. Again, Sarah, don't even bother saying that when you clearly have never picked a Bible up once in your life. These guys worry me about as much as the Zed do, but at least we might be able to actually cut a deal with them. Okay, so Last Judgment here is another faction. One of only 5, I think it was? Yeah. Debatably. One of, like, the few factions that was in the previous game, Rebuild 2. In Rebuild 2, they were immediately hostile, could not be reasoned with, and the whole Catholic motif wasn't even brought up. I mean, it was brought up briefly to say they looked like they were Catholic. It was brought up to say they look like Catholic priests, but that was just it. They just looked like it. They didn't go on about God. They didn't pretend to be Christian. Nothing like that. Anyway, why is that relevant? Well, in Rebuild 2, they were just raiders. They were literally just raiders with some, like, Catholic motif going on. And the most important thing about this is that they were hostile to literally anyone and everyone. And they also were slavers. They enslaved people. Keep that in mind, because she erratas them here. Anyway, so in this continuity, Rebuild 3, like, seriously, is Rebuild 2 even canon anymore? I'm gonna say no. Anyway, in this continuity, Last Judgment Gang is a gang of bikers, not raiders, bikers, who are definitively Catholic, instead of just using that as their appearance. And even though the game constantly goes on and on about them being bad people, and them being hostile, and like how they're religious zealots, and blah blah fucking blah. You wanna know the funny thing? This is literally the most reasonable faction in the entire fucking game. This faction is so comedically easy to befriend that it's laughable. Like, you barely even need to try. Hell, it feels like you need to try to be hostile with them. Like, that's how reasonable they made them. Like, Sarah, if you're going to make them antagonistic, why make it so easy to reason with them? Why make them so reasonable? Why make them so like, friendly? Like, I know they begin very low with 30 respect, which is, like, the lowest that a faction can begin with. But, like, still, that doesn't do jack shit. That can be bumped up to 50 almost instantaneously. Anyway, also, I think Sarah had, like, some repressed, like some kind of, like, repressed, like, hatred of Catholics or something. I don't know, maybe she was forced to go to Sunday school and she hated every second of it or something. I don't know. But she's constantly trying to paint Christianity like it's a bad thing, somehow. Which is something that really fucking bothers me. Like, it really, really fucking bothers me. And she throws in shit about Christians in here, and, like, rules and stuff that aren't actually rules to most Christians. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are some Christians out there that are a lot more strict and harsh, but, like, we're not forbidden from drinking. Like, yeah, most of us choose not to for one reason or another, but, like, it's not like we touch liquor once, we're destined for hell or anything. It's not like that. Like the whole gender role thing, like, yeah, more traditionalists are gonna be that way, and sure, there's gonna be some that are very extreme about it, but for the most part, most of them are just gonna, like, follow the exact, like, laws and words that the Bible, like, gave us. Like, most of us are just gonna follow that to a T without going, like, crazy with it, nor being too lax with it. And yeah, there are some Christians that are very, very lax with it, but, like, still, okay, like, bottom line, what I'm trying to say here is Sarah doesn't know anything about Christianity, literally nothing, actually nothing. She could not know less even if she tried. Tries to paint them as bad guys, or at the very least as extremists somehow. And yet she does such a piss-poor job at it that it, like, comes full circle, and it's like, are you sure? Are you sure? Anyway, so yeah, where was I? Right. These guys in this game are a literal Catholic biker gang who are allegedly hostile to most people, but they aren't actually, can be reasoned with quite well. and are very, very reasonable and are good friends to have, mostly because they're strong and provide you with ammo. Not sure where they get it or make it, but whatever. Also, their treatment of women in this game is completely different. In Rebuild 2, they were slavers who enslaved women, and I mean that in the most literal textbook definition of the word slavery. Like, that's what they used to do. However, in this game, that is completely fucking dropped, even though she's trying way harder to portray them as being extremists. Like, she's trying way harder, and yet she dropped the slavery point. And these guys are going to have beef with another really retarded gang way later on in the story mode, which we'll probably not even see until like part 6 or 7, but like they have beef with this faction because that other faction is like extremely pro-feminism and these guys are anti-feminism. Well, here's the ironic thing about it, that faction I'm talking about is hostile with these guys, like literally will shoot on sight because these guys say, nah, women shouldn't have guns. Like, nah, women shouldn't be soldiers. But like, that's the thing, like, she had a golden opportunity here. Just make it so they enslave women again. Like, why was that dropped? If you want them to be the bad guys, or at the very least, like, make it so it's like, oh, they have decent ideals, but they have this one absolutely massive fatal flaw about them, just keep the slavery bypoint. Like, why did you drop that plot point? That doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're gonna make these guys the bad guys, why did you drop the bad guys doing the bad thing? Like, if you get rid of that, they don't look like bad guys anymore. And they're fucking not. Like, the game constantly says they are, but, like, they never do anything bad here. Nothing objectively bad, anyway. Like, I just don't know. Like, in this game, in this continuity, Rebuild 3, they don't even treat women that badly. They just say women shouldn't be their soldiers, because they don't think women should, like, perform those types of roles, and that type of role is for the man. Which, like, yeah, okay, that sounds like something a Catholic would say, but, like, is that it? I hear sirens. They're coming to get me for what I just said. Anyway, like, it's like, is that it? And the answer is, yeah. They have plenty of women in their fort. They have women being their builders, their engineers, their scavengers, and all that shit. It's just that they don't allow them to be their soldiers specifically. It's really fucking stupid. It's really stupid. Like, you're gonna go to war and kill people over that? Don't get me wrong, I'm sure humanity has, like, declared war on each other for way more mundane reasons, but, like, still. Ugh, I hate Sarah. She's such a fucking dope. She pretends like she knows a lot when in reality she knows jack shit. Anyway, let's get back to the gameplay now, shall we? You know what? Just give me the 5. He's almost done. Rocket launcher, nice. The rocket launcher. Father O'Grady. Alright, was in a good mood when I stopped by today. Apparently the boys had helped with some sinners see the light in classical, violent Old Testament fashion early this morning. Not needing all the gory details he seemed eager to share, I did my best to turn our conversation to business. Okay. Listen, I know I wasn't going to get into this and say I'm not going to express my opinions. I'm just going to say this real quick. I know I don't act like it, and I know it may come as a shocking revelation to anyone who's watching this late into the video, but I myself am Christian. I can tell you right now, if anybody, and I mean anybody, tries to imply that the Old Testament or God in the Old Testament is different from God in the New Testament, or that the things are different, or like a blah 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 blah, that's just undeniable proof that they've never fucking read it. Alright? Like, if they try to say, oh yeah, violent Old Testament, like, sir, don't say that when you clearly have never read it. The Bible is absolutely consistent, and if you say otherwise, that's just proof that you never read it. Anyway, ask what they need. I can see it in their eyes. They're hungry. They need 20 days of ration. Could save. You know what? I have the option to give 10, but I'm going to give them 20 because I like these guys. His eyes lit up at the thought, and I could see a bit of drool in his mouth of the thought of eating a proper meal. Hopefully they make it last. The building at the center of the Last Judgment's base looked to be an old church, except the big neon sign above the door said Sacrament. Didn't quite fit. Surrounded by motorbikes, it looked more like a bar than a house of worship. It smelled like one, too. Inside, a big fellow wearing leather and half a dozen different gaudy crucifixes around his neck. Half a dozen? Then why is it in his image he's only got the one? Okay. Introduced himself as Father O'Grady, offered me a beer, and he said he was looking forward to getting to know me, hoping that I turned out to have bigger balls than those sneaky pajama wearers from the Rifts. I'm getting a phone call, sorry. I don't know anyone in Port Clinton, sorry. Where the fuck even is that? Alright. O'Grady slapped me on the back with a meaty hand, gave me an ugly grin, and said they'd hold me to it. Again, like, if you're going to try to paint these guys as antagonistic and bad guys, why make them so reasonable and friendly toward the player? I'm just saying. This would be like if you played Fall... Okay, this may go over some people's heads, but, like, this would be like if you played New Vegas, and everything was the same, except when you finally meet Kaiser's Legion themselves, like, they themselves are, like, super friendly to you, very polite, very nice, very eager to be your friend, and are willing to bend over backwards for you specifically, whilst also being antagonistic and, you know, as evil as they are in game to everyone else. Oh, wait a minute, that's just the Institute from Fallout 4. Never mind, I should have just said that'd be like if they were written like the Institute. Just very, very strange. Very, very strange. More bad writing, more proof that Sarah is an incompetent writer. I would say hopefully she never made anything after this, but unfortunately I know for a fact she did make more after this, and it's oh, you thought she was brainwashed in this game. Oh, balls. She didn't just swallow the blue pill. She downed the whole fucking bottle of the blue pill, screamed she needed more, ran down to the factory, and started devouring every single blue pill she could find. Like, holy balls. I will not elaborate on that. I feel like I've already said enough to get lynched. Make me a sandwich. What kind? Anyway, I met with Father O'Grady to talk about setting up a no man's land between us and Last Judgment. He pulled me aside at one point and told me, sorry, did I ever tell you I'm partially dyslexic? That's not a joke, I actually am. Anyway, he told me he'd heard our new policy on letting women out of the kitchen, as he put it. He said, "It's good you're nipping that in the bud, son. You start giving women guns, and my experience is they'll just turn around and point them at you." Genesis 3:16. Thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Oh my goodness! You see what I mean when I say they're so reasonable? Plus 40. It's like, you just simply tell him, yeah, I agree, women shouldn't be soldiers. And he's like, plus 40 respect. Hold on a second, I'm gonna put my mic down. Genesis 3, I'm gonna go get my Bible, I'm gonna read this. See how accurate this is. Alright, I got my King James Bible here. We're gonna, it's King James, and that's clearly what he's quoting. You can tell because the wording. Let's see, Genesis 3:16. Let's see if Sarah leaves anything out. She probably will. That's the wrong quote. That is the wrong quote. That is the wrong quote. Oh my. Sarah didn't even bother to look it up. She just made it up. Alright, you want to hear the actual Genesis 3:16? Okay. Unto the woman... wait. Making sure I'm at the right place. Yeah. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. It's not exactly the same, but... like, she left out a whole lot. And then let me see if she left anything out. Yeah, the very next passage. And unto Adam he said, Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree, of which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake, in sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground, for out of it wast thou taken, from dust thou art, unto dust shalt thou return. Again, that, like, she's taken that quote massively out of context. Massively out of context. Alright, anyway. Let's see, what are you? Scavenger? Soldier. Yeah, we'll just take the soldier. That sounds like a good deal. Firearms training. A rocket launcher, yes, that's what you need in your life. Here, you two pair up. Alright, I guess we should get started on the main quest here. Gotta get as much as the map revealed, so hopefully a horde will spawn over here. Convinced that's alright. Talk with them. Here's 5. Whoa. Here we go. Was grabbed by Malik. Okay, a bit of a weird wording. Was grabbed by Malik during my visit to the Rifts today. Told me that the Last Judgment gang was making it too hard to keep the dead in the ground. Every one of the Rifts Gleam squads in the last week had been hit by the bikers as they went after the Zed. They don't ever explain what their beef is in this game, by the way. They never explain. Like, there are some factions that have beef that they do explain, even if most of the time the explanation is really mind-meltingly stupid. These guys, they don't have any explanation at all. Actually none. Anyway, said he had a plan on the... Oh, I hate this song. To stop Judgment from attacking everyone, but they needed some help to get things in place. Agree to help. Did a battle thing which tried to battle without much success. Said I honored him and asked if I'd follow. He led me to the back office of this dojo, which is lined wall-to-wall with all sorts of exotic edged weapons, and I got the impression he knew how to use every one of them. He pulled out on a map of the area and pointed on the crossroads mall. They cleared out the Zen building, blah blah blah. Yeah. So why am I doing this? Get this stupid shit out of here. Quite simply, you have to do it to get the perk. What perk, you may be asking? You'll see. We're different people with different values, but I think we can find a way to become allies. Again, like Sarah, why are these guys so nice and reasonable? You're gonna make them really nice and reasonable, yet insist they're the bad guys? Not how that works, Sarah. Not how that works. Oh, where... that just poofed into existence. Alright. Just very slowly making our way through. Just go scavenging here, I guess. They didn't like my first prototype of a zombie bear suit. It had total protection, was 100% zombie proof, but you couldn't really walk in the thing or breathe. Version 2 is better received. A simple piece of PVC pipe over the forearm makes her an excellent shield. You notice that the Zed go for the jugular much like wild animals. Wearing a scarf or leather neckband can save your life. Yeah, okay. Handyman, there we go. Alright. Make that department. Insist that you work, because there's literally no downside. Like, actually none. Just gotta wait until hordes start spawning. And also, we gotta pray to God that we can get a cricket bat. If I can't find a cricket bat, well, I'm just up shit creek without a paddle. Very unfortunate. Can they appear in other factions, like, trade things? I don't know if they can. Probably not. I'm using let me remind you, I'm using a mod to make it easier to find this stuff. And, like, I'm still massively struggling to find anything. Very nice. Malik bowed and brought down a nasty-looking sword from the porch of an old man. He explained the man had been the head of the risk when Father Grady cut his life short. True, it had been wise of his master to take them on alone, but they had insulted him by refusing to submit to their protection. So this whole mess got started when the old master's power play went sour. Okay, wouldn't that imply that they're the bad guys here? Wouldn't that imply that the Rifts are the bad guys? I know I said they'd never explain what their beef is, but, like, that doesn't make too much sense. Like, why would he just randomly do this? Whatever. I'm very quickly getting bored. But it's like, I want to try to do the Monkey Blood questline because I want to get the good ending for the footage, but, like, this sucks. Spreading the word. We got a knock on our gates today and opened it to find Father Grady with another clean-shaven man in a white shirt, leather vest, and tie with little crosses on it. They asked if we'd heard the word of the Lord. Come on over to our church, buddy. The group seemed surprised that we may actually have a spiritual side. We showed them around the old church we had fixed up and bonded a little. Father Grady invited us to visit them so they could return the favor. This Sunday's ceremony is on God's Flaming Sword of Justice, the M4 Carbine AR-15. I don't think Sarah knows much about guns, either. Our most devout survivors were pleased to host the day with some fellow Christians for the day. It just gives you a lot of experience, It gives you a lot of respect between them, and makes anyone with the devout perk here very happy. Yeah. Yeah. Again, they're the bad guys. Don't forget, Sarah insists that these are the bad guys. Makes it insanely easy to befriend them. Because why not? Improved teaching. Some people used to think they were visual learners and audio learners, but I'm pretty sure that was a bunch of bullshit made up by psychologists to justify their paychecks. Yeah, Sarah, I'm sure you think a lot of stupid shit. Anyway, there are a lot of different ways to learn, but the most effective way is to learn by doing. So we're gonna do with a more hands-on approach from teaching from now on, which is easy because there's a hell of a lot of stuff that needs to be done around here. Why shoot at targets when there are real zombies that need killing? Right. Give him some advice. Yeah, here's some advice for you. Anyway. I guess just scout, I guess. Oh, wait, yeah. Choosing sides. On the day of the fight, a few of our guys set up the roof of the mall. We spotted the Rifts wearing plain black uniforms armed to the teeth with bladed weapons making their way to the other side of the doors. At the same time, it was hard to miss the roar of Last Judge's engines as they pulled the main entrance loaded for bear. From our position, looking down the skylights until the two gangs made their way through the dilapidated structure, both sides looked fairly equal in number. It wouldn't take more than a few shots from our guys to change that pretty fast. Attack Last Judgment, because there's no reason to. Even running straight into the lines of the gang members, the Rift showed no fear. The blur of motion, the Song of Steel and Blade. Sarah, it doesn't matter how cool you look. Dressing like a ninja doesn't make you a ninja. It doesn't matter how much you fucking train. You can't outrun a bullet as a human being without any supernatural or like magic or superhero nonsense. That's not possible. All that fighting in the Zen must have taught Malik a thing or two about going for the neck. Again, would not matter. No matter how sharp that sword is, you are not riding for Metal Gear. Just as things were coming to a head, there was a crash at the front doors across from Molo caved inward. Zed, probably lured by all the noise and smell of blood, came barreling through and fell upon both sides. We could run for our lives and clean up once everyone has finished eating each other, or use what ammo we have to clear our allies' path. We'd probably lose them all, but it would be a better chance of surviving the night. It's against my instincts, but you have to choose to let them kill one another. Didn't take long before the two groups realized their only chance was to team up to fight the Horde. Even with the Rift stealing, the Judgment's firepower was rough. As the last Zed finally fell, Grady and Malik looked over what was left of their forces and seemed to decide there had been enough killing for today. They silently gathered the remaining people together and headed their separate ways. Neither is very happy with us, but hopefully their bloodlust is sated now. Yeah, it says not very, but it's only -5 from both. like, look at this nonsense. Yeah, it's only -5 from both. Actually, no, it's only from Last Judgment. That's so goofy. Okay, well, once we get the perker, I'm gonna call it quits for now, because I'm getting very bored. I'm getting very bored. I'm sure anyone watching this is, too. Make him sleep outside. Tough luck, bitch. Whoa. Here we go. On leadership. The violence between the rifts and Last Judgment has made me realize the value of having strong leadership that all sides will follow. Back before the outbreak, I was not very interested in politics. Libertarian. Proudly conservative. A staunch, proudly conservative. But how can anything ever get done if we squabble? Also, that didn't matter. That was just there to be there. Who gets in to be in charge and constantly undermine on any decision whether the side makes? There's no time for red team versus blue team politics anymore. Today's leaders have to make decisions under pressure. We know that our people will respect them. I've decided to start taking my job more seriously. I'm gonna be a politician. You have to do this. You actually have to. Anyway, leaders must support in jobs to be loved or feared, and at any rate respected by the people they lead by other groups they interact with. A good politician knows job security is key, so as long as the people are on your side, you can screw up all you want. What this perk does is make it so that when you leave for another city, you get to bring one more person with you. Huge, huge advantage. Doesn't sound like much, but it actually is. It's ginormous. Get all these out of the way. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna... Whoa! Okay, I'm gonna call it there for now. Like, it'll just be one giant video for you, so, you know. Yeah. But, I'm gonna just go ahead and call it here for myself, because I'm getting extremely bored, and I want to do literally anything else. So, yeah. It'll just be a quick little jump cut for you, but for me it'll be like probably another day or 3 before I pick this back up. Alright, bye for now, I guess. Why am I saying bye for now? It's just gonna be a jump cut for you. Oh well. Alright. Back at it again. Where were we? Like 2 hours later, we're back at it again. Okay, so I have an idea to try to, at the very least, force some of these events out. Gonna reclaim a little bit here, then just give the whole, like, this perimeter here to both factions, so that way zombies can only spawn over here, therefore the hordes are forced to go that way. Unless they spawn right there, or there, where's the other, or there, but, you know, one problem at a time, I guess. Lend the Lord some gas. One of our scouts just spotted a group of grumpy-looking Last Judgment members not far from our walls. Looks like their bikers ran out of juice, and they've been stranded there for the past couple of hours. We could probably help them out if we had a bit of gas to spare. Yeah, sure, why not? They're our buddies. They're grateful, and soon after we heard the sound of their engines revving in the distance. Yeah, again, if you want to paint these guys as being the bad guys, that's antagonistic, why'd you make them so insanely reasonable? Sarah. Doesn't know how to write. Okay, oh, wait, right. Yeah. Madman tax, okay. That's great. Might as well just scout around a little bit while we wait. Okay. Scavenge that. Okay, where... Yeah, you guys can have that. Trying to create a bit of a blockade here, you know? Pretty pedestrian music, huh? Just not much else for me to say, really. just ain't too much more for me to say. Yeah, actually, just continue that. Why not? Just trying to force out that event. Okay, we can keep these ones. Yeah. There we go. Tell them a story. Very, very stupid. Okay. And right there, why not? Now we just wait. Fun game, huh? Now we just friggin' wait. Okay. We can take that. We can keep that. Yeah. Yeah, we're pretty much just set. Talk. Here we go. Take fiction. Where at? Yeah, we can keep that one. Okay, then we've done 2, so Gretchen should show up soon. I'm just gonna keep trying my best to try to find a freaking cricket bat. Last thing that's absolutely essential for that, unfortunately. And I bet we're not even gonna be able to find it either. That's the best part. I guarantee we're not gonna be able to find it. Okay, let's see. Do you have it? Damn, of course not. Why would you? Why would you? I don't care. There you go. I guess we just gotta get to scavenging. Just pray. You gotta love how one of the essentials, actually essential for the main quest, or not main quest, one of the things that's actually essential to getting a good ending is entirely RNG based. You really gotta love it. If it's not here, it'll turn out I just end up wasting my fucking time, and I'll be very upset about that. Doesn't matter. None of this matters. Are we ever gonna fucking get this thing? I hate the fact this is solely luck-based. The fact that it's only luck-based and luck alone is just absolute garbage. SMG, that's not a cricket bat. Was that a cricket bat? No, that was a Pomeranian. I'm very dyslexic, you see. Oh man, this sucks. This absolutely sucks. Not really much else for me to do. If we don't find a cricket bat here in the next couple of seconds, I'm gonna be very upset. Okay, there's a horde. Save game, wait a little bit. You gotta send a fucking engineer. Like, who would think to do that? Seriously, who in the world would ever think to do that? So dumb. So mind-numbingly stupid. Oh, there is no cricket bat anywhere, is there? I don't want to have to scavenge this, but I have to scavenge this now. There we go. Old news. Mob Z attacked me while I was out trading with the Rifts. I should have been watching, but I had my nose stuffed in an old newspaper with the headline Zombies. Where do they come from? Being in such a curious man of science, I had to know. Apparently I read a Dutch cult. Okay. A Dutch cult named that word took credit for creating it. They said they wanted to cleanse the world of the evils of capitalism. But this reporter from the Moses Lake Times thought that the cult lied and they had nothing to do with it. The evidence, the first reported cases were weeks earlier from that place in the small town of that name, which had no connection to them at all. They quarantined 2 patients named Ruben and Hendrik von Newton, but I guess the disease still got out somehow. Fascinating. Oh right, zombies, gotta run. Why did it say that I was the one who did it when I sent this dude? Well, we just gotta wait for the 1 in a billion chance that we find a cricket bat. If we can't find a cricket bat, we are just up shit creek without a paddle. Very, very inconvenient stuff. Incredibly inconvenient. Laughably inconvenient. Attempted kidnapping. We just killed him. Good idea. Nothing. This sucks, man. This sucks. This sucks. Last judgment on the off chance, but you happen to have a cricket bat? Yeah, see, okay, hold on. Yeah, I still fucking despise the fact this is essential. You need a cricket bat. If you don't get it, you're shit out of luck. I hate it. Sometimes I get it a million times, and other times I can't find it even once. It's bullshit. Anywho, we found a woman who was hanging around outside a gate today. She put her cupped hands out to beg for food and she seemed skittish when I approached. She'd been out alone for a while and I guess the world took its toll. After a cup of hot soup, she nervously told me about herself. She was a scientist from Europe, stranded here by the disease. She saw our signs and hoped we could help. When I asked her to join us, her eyes misted over and she nodded. Welcome, Gretchen. Hope you find happiness here. Yeah, this is one of the very, very, very few unique survivors in the game, and hopefully we can get to her. If we can't, then fuck me, I guess. Anyway, might as well read her story since she's one of the very few that has a unique one. I do not feel comfortable talking about myself. If you do not mind, I only want to be left alone. Talk, talk, talk. If you want to talk so badly, you should talk to the trees like I do. There are plenty of good trees here to choose from. They're very good listeners, because they will not bother you with their own troubles. Right then. There's no cricket bats, are there? There's no cricket bat. There are no cricket bats to be found. Very, very sad. Another one already? Wait, did that one even... Oh, they took it back immediately. Got it. Right. Okay. I mean, there are a couple of areas that I still need to scout, so... Well, now that's pointless. Much like everything else that's going on here, it's pointless. I'm doing all this just for an extra little win screen. Absolutely asinine. It's not like the good ending's any better. That's the worst part. The good ending's not even that much better. Okay, do I spoil it? Yeah, I might as well spoil it. It's just like you just don't die. That's the only real difference. You don't die. Doesn't even go into detail. Like the game just stops. And it's like, okay, what happened after that, you know? I don't know. I don't know. Something, I'm sure. You know, I think I'm just screwed. I think I'm actually just screwed. No cricket bat. Which means we can't continue the Monkey Blood quest line, which means that this place is pointless. Oh yeah, also this guy's gonna die now. Yeah, that's scripted. Whoever gets injured first when Gretchen joins is guaranteed to die. Yeah. Beautiful. Who's our best? It was Lori, but now it's Randy. Oh, he's got one for both, so it's, yeah. Okay. 3, 4, and I guess a scientist will do? Might as well, right? Yeah. Take a science book. And just any good weapon, I guess. Let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that works, I guess. Whoa! Not the intended effect. I didn't want to relive that. Okay. We're fine. Give chase. It's fine. Okay, this doesn't make any sense to me. Why would we just let this guy eat way more than everyone else if things are allegedly super bad? Like, I don't understand why we would just let that happen. Like, the guy who you bribe makes sense. But, like, I mean, it doesn't make sense. But, like, it makes sense in context. But this, why would we just let him eat literally twice as much? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you be like, yeah, sure, dude, dig in? Just saying. This sucks, man. This absolutely sucks. You have no idea how much this sucks. All that effort and work for nothing. All of that for nothing. Make an alliance with Last Judgment. Because why not? Oh look, there's literally only a single area we haven't scavenged yet. Let's find out if we can get... Okay. Let's see if we can get the cricket bat from there. No? Well, of course not. This is like me trying to fucking pull Flying Nimbus and Breakers. Hopefully that's gonna be a statement that ages poorly by the time this comes out, but I have a feeling that no, it will not. In fact, if anything, it's gonna age like a fine fucking wine. This blows, man. Just wanted a freaking cricket bat. Anytime anything's RNG based, I always get the worst possible outcome. That's just how my life goes. And it's very fucking sad. I don't even think these other factions can even get the cricket bat. I think you can only get it randomly, or get it from that one 8-12 event, which by the way is random. And by the way, usually only happens at the very, very, very beginning of the map. Which by the way is like, did you not literally not spawn directly next to this building in particular? Well, get fucked, idiot. Sucks. Everything about this fucking sucks. Just wait, I guess. Might as well. What else is there for me to do? The old biker raised the Bible above his head as he addressed the crowd like a preacher giving a sermon. All I know, he said, is you folks are as righteous as any I've met on God's green earth, and you do unto others as you'd be done by them. He led us in prayer to give thanks for bringing us all together to save Moses like his allies. When he said amen, the other Last Judgment men fired their guns in the air and whooped. I guess that seals it. I mean, hey, at least the alliance thing, you know, at least it has unique dialogue. There's that. I bet you if I scavenge this little area here, I'll find a cricket bat, but it won't fucking matter. Because you need this area to be unscavenged. Minigun. Alright, game. Whoa. Sure thing, game, why not? Let's see, you want a minigun? I'll get you a minigun. You can cut a zombie in half at 100 yards. Not that that would kill it. As if to imply that wouldn't do anything. Interesting. More retconning lore. Anyway, Gretchen's third little unique thing. Can't you see I'm busy? I'm concentrating right now. I do not have time to talk with you. Please stop trying to get to know me. I'm not a person worth knowing. I've done a terrible thing you cannot imagine. All I can do now is forget. Intense focus, because that makes sense. Suggest the alliance. Let's get the hell out of this shit show. Get out of here, you parasite. Man, this sucks. You have no idea how hard this sucks. This absolutely sucks. Like, I can't believe I got screwed over this hard. Are you teaching? This one, I guess? Artist, yeah, why not? Man. Malik bowed deeply to the crowd, then spread his arms and waited for silence. For too long, he began. We've been fighting over our little piece of turf, but it's all our turf, yours and mine. We'll keep it safe together. Can you dig it? Yes, the crowd shouted. Can you dig it? Yes. Can you dig it? We can. I grabbed Malik's hand and we raised our arms to the sky. Okay, buddy, we get it. We get it. You're a LARPer. We get it. Well, now let's get out of here. expert advice, because it doesn't matter really even. And get out. Diane, I wish we'd had you to help us deal with these gangs. We allied ourselves with the Last Judgment Gang, or as Father O'Grady calls them, God's vengeful army of free men. We laid down the law so people can have a safe place to live peacefully, but I doubt we've seen the last of either of those gangs. Here's the stats that don't matter at all. Next, we're going to Spokane. Spokane is where the game's gonna get... Yeah, I wouldn't say, like, insanely easy, but it will get a lot faster. Once we get Programmer, oh yeah, then the game becomes laughably easy, but, yeah. Spokane here, once we start that up, then we're gonna get, then the game will really speed up. Well, look forward to that in the next one.